Hey, Marketo community. I just wanted to share an update on where I got to with my first self-service flow step. You might have saw my post yesterday where I showed all the testing I was doing and all the struggling that was going on, but I eventually managed to make it work. And I just kind of wanted to walk you through the setup quickly because I hope I'm making a blog post about this within the next few months to make this as plug and play for other people, because I've gone through a baptism of fire trying to get this all to work, but I think it would be possible to have a reproducible template that would be very easy for people to clone and then get working so they can implement their own self-service flow steps. And I kind of like your guys' feedback on what examples you'd like to see in that blog post and that YouTube video walkthrough. So I'm just going to show you what I have at the moment and the setup and what I think could be reproducible for others in the future. So the use case for my self-service flow step is we've got this how did you hear about Telnex field on our forms where people enter in an open text value about how they heard about us. And then the goal of my self-service flow step is to take this how did you hear about Telnex open text field and then bucket it into two values, the hear about source and the hear about source detail. And the way I've set this up is I'm using Replit to host a main script, which is listening out for the self-service flow step coming from Marketo. And then it's making a request to ChatGPT with kind of all these instructions here. And then it's going to give me back the hear about source and hear about source detail, what it's getting from ChatGPT. And then this is going to get pushed back into these two fields in Marketo. So just to show you what that looks like. So if I go to custom fields, we can see that the hear about is now set to my colleague. But if I put this in as like my colleague, let's put it in as just say like searching Google. Then when I rerun this, we'll see that the hear about source and hear about source details should get updated. So if I go to the activity log here, I go special request. I've got this here about bucketing at the moment just set up to be a requestable campaign just for testing purposes. So it's going to call this. So if I go here about bucketing, run now, and I'll pause the video while this is executing. So we can see it ran successfully here. So this was the request campaign. And we changed the hear about source to organic and the hear about source detail to organic Google, which makes sense because the person said that they found us just by searching Google. And if I look at the activity detail here of the self-service flow step, I can see the hear about source value. I can see what Marketo sent to my Replit script. I can see the response from ChatGPT. And then down the bottom here, I can see what the person put in, and I can see the hear about source detail. So we've got all the information now, and it's now stored in these two fields, hear about source and hear about source detail, which is easier for us to analyze as a marketing team to see where people are hearing about us. So that's the use case for the self-service flow step. And as I mentioned, I've got the script set up here in Replit, and Replit is a very affordable way to host Python scripts like this so that they're always listening out for the stuff you're going to send it from Marketo. So this is the way I'd recommend implementing it, and I'm going to show, or I'm going to write a blog post in the next few months about how to set up your Replit repository to listen for self-service flow steps from Marketo, and I aim to give you Python code that will be hopefully plug and play. You'll copy it into your Replit repo, change a few things for your own Marketo instance, and then hit deploy up here. And don't be intimidated by this. Deploying it is very easy. You can just select auto scale and then it kind of deploys it all for you. You don't have to worry about any of it. And when it comes to programming, don't be intimidated by this either. The way I approach this, I've got a programming background anyway, so I'm quite comfortable with Python. But what I did was I've been using ChatGPT 03 for the past 3 days, and you can see how long I've been conversing with ChatGPT. I gave it access to this GitHub repository here, which details Marketo's or Adobe's guidelines on how to implement self-service flow steps. So I gave it access to that, and I explained the use case that I just went through with you guys. And then I asked it, how can I build my Replit repository in order to listen out for these self-service flow steps from Marketo? And ChatGPT was phenomenal here. To be honest, I was looking at this GitHub repo with a blank face, not knowing where to start. But then once I gave it to ChatGPT, it was able to walk me through the implementation. So don't be intimidated by, hosting code in Replit or Python. I think anyone now, so long as you're a good prompt engineer, you're able to write Python code that works using ChatGPT, and you just then have to test it and iterate with it and keep working with ChatGPT if you get any errors. And just on a related note, I've got a Python for RevOps course, which I'll be working on developing this summer, which is going to show people how you can get started with programming so that you can do cool things like writing self-service flow steps. So this is the outline of the course, how to download and set up PyCharm, which is just a free place where you can run and test Python code on your laptop. And then I walk you through how to write code with ChatGPT, and then also how you can kind of debug it with ChatGPT and work with it. And that's basically the whole approach I just took here in order to get this working with Replit. So the final thing I want to end with this video is just saying, if you're interested in learning how to get started with Python, then put your email address up here, so then you'll get notified when the course launches. And then the third thing is, or second thing, let me know what use cases you'd like to see in an eventual blog post, where I'll put the example use cases in the blog post. I'll have a YouTube walkthrough video, and then the Python code that I'll share with you guys, you'll hopefully be able to put it into your own Replit instance or another hosting platform like Python Anywhere, change a few parameters for your Marketo instance, and then hopefully deploy and then be able to use it pretty easily. So that's the goal. Let me know what use cases you'd like to see. Is it, AI summary of a certain field? Is it adding two fields together? Let me know what you'd like to see in that blog post, and I'll hopefully work on that in the next few months. Thanks.